on the dust of mirage, when only 2 souls remain, Dustan uttered the ancient rite. Save, you bots! The lost tablets of the humiliation ritual unearthed beneath NIP's ruined corpses. Thus did Budapest weep silver tears into the night river. Engraved by the last scribe, time stops for no one.
Let's get it out. Welcome to Talking Tower.
Coming in hot, live from Budapest. Live from... I got nothing after Budapest.
You have 15 empty, 16, 17 empty water bottles. Actually, not all empty.
Mostly empty.
Yes, that's good. That shows that you are drinking your water.
I am ingesting water.
And a lot of coffees. Are they all this morning, or are they like, they're the collection?
That's a collection.
Okay. Is that for... So you know by the end of the event you've had your caffeine supply?
No, it's just, again, we covered this. I'm here to save trees.
Have you had it cleaned?
I haven't had it cleaned.
Not once.
I keep a clean house, man.
No, me too. Well...
I mean, it's messy, but it's clean.
Maybe next time we'll do it in my room.
Yeah?
Just so you can see how the other side lives.
Yeah. You know, it is funny. I do think about it often when I go on these trips, and then I don't ever have to have personal responsibility in terms of keeping my space clean.
Yeah, but you just said you keep a clean space. Which is it?
I keep a clean space. Let me rephrase that. I never have personal responsibility of having to keep a non-messy space. You know, hotel rooms, you get to just throw shit around.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But when I go home, you know, I do have like 3 days of where I have to like shift out of the hotel mindset.
But you have a good excuse when you're at home. If there's shit all over the place, you just blame it on the kid.
It's true, but it gets a little bit different when it's like, you know...
A laptop.
Yeah, you know... Shit from my luggage that I just put on a countertop when I get home and just sits there for 5 days.
It's a couple of toys, maybe you get away with it, but they're not your toys after all. No. Jason, how was last night?
Last night was good, man. It was fun. We went. We celebrated Adela's birthday.
But you went to some ruins?
We went to the ruined bars.
Oh, ruined bars.
Yeah.
A bit like Diablo.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it feels like that. And I felt like I wanted to have like a Diablo vibe going into it as well. But it was cool. It's like the best way I could explain it is it's almost like being in a mall. Like a 2-story mall that just got like gutted, graffiti everywhere, took all the fancy shit out. It's like a 2-story building complex that has like 10 to 15 random bars positioned through. And as you walk through, it's just kind of random areas of seating that you can just select and sit down and just like kind of find your own way through this like ruined fucking building that is now just there to drink.
Was it like was it Bergheim? Was that type of vibe where it was like did it feel... You know, like you had to wear like a certain type of clothing?
No. Didn't feel that way at all. Well, it didn't feel elitist anyway. It was just kind of show up and do your thing, whatever
but it
you
was
want.
Cool.
They had like a DJ in one part of it. They had like it was like a hookah lounge in another one. One little room felt like a little coffee cafe, and then a bunch of just like standard like beer and fucking mixed drink bars.
Okay.
And, yeah, it was
a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Got back a little bit later than I would have liked, but. Yeah, it was a good time.
No, that's why when I messaged you, I was like, oh, he's not awake. It's fine. It's all good. It's not a problem.
We came back and we did like one of those like late night chats with Alex until like 3:30 in the morning. We just sat in a room and just talked for like an hour and a half.
Okay.
You know,
so no Fibbage or any of the.
No, it was just straight conversation, just like the old-fashioned way.
Wow.
Raw dogging social life.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny how like when there's a little bit of social lubrication involved, the phones tend not to get as much.
That's really nice. It's really nice. That's why I do it.
The brain gets slightly softened, and you're not like hit me with the dopamine of what's going on in that little device.
Yeah, you're more focused on the immediate physical presence around you.
Yeah, okay.
Versus the grand scale.
Hugo invited me, and I was like, oh, I'll see how I feel, because we came back after our game. We're on the same shift as them because Alex and I were doing the desk. We'll get more into that later. And then we went and had food because I was hungry as fuck. Because that day is when I'd woken up and done HTV Confirmed. So like, we finished at 1 a.m. the night before. And then I woke up to do HTV Confirmed. But I needed to get breakfast, shower and everything. Because do HTV Confirmed, then have to essentially be done and get on the shuttle and go in for call time.
Yeah.
And then, get back. And I was like, well, I have to eat. It was 6 p.m. because I was on three mapper.
Yeah.
But I got to eat. And then I wanted to go just to have a quick little move around in the gym. So I went to that after. And then Hugo was in there as well. And he was like, are you going to come? I was like, oh, I'm a bit tired, mate. Went back to my room and I showered. And it was one of those situations where I couldn't sleep. Even though I was tired. Because I slept 5 hours the night before.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And then I slept for like maybe six, I reckon, last night. So I'm like, you have a good excuse. Yours is you were having fun. Mine was I was tossing and turning, not in that way. And I was like, mate, why can't I sleep?
I know.
Is that age?
It's age.
Am I dying?
Dude, I have the same shit where like when I come on these trips now, like six hours of sleep a night is like, I killed it.
Yeah.
You know, that's like my happy place is 6 hours a night.
I can't
I'm
accept
home
that.
and I'm like 8 to 9 to 10.
At home?
Yeah, I get more sleep with the kid at home than I do here at these events.
Damn.
I don't know what it is. Everyone tells me it's supposed to be the other way around, but it's not how it's working.
Did you cop any fury for your comment last time around regarding 4 solo parenting days?
She did give me a little bit of shit, but it was like good-natured shit.
Okay.
You know, it was like the little, she was like, I think she messaged me the day after the episode, and James, she said something like, she was like, yeah, it's a bit rough over here. I'm just now into like my 4th day of solo parenting. And I was like, it's like, all right, I'll take that one.
No, fair
You know,
enough.
what I find is if you show that you appreciate that over time, you can crack those jokes and get
Okay.
away with it, you know?
Yeah. But you need to be a little bit of levity in life.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
A little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Not everything can be serious.
Jane's a good mum, so I'm sure she's loving it.
Yeah, she's doing it great.
Okay, so you went out, you did all that, you cast the game of Counter-Strike. Now we have essentially, it's an off day. Do you have any media obligations?
No, I did have media obligations, but I asked to be removed from them. I have,
Okay.
well, I've done 2. And it's like there are people that have done 0. Normally, I don't care about that, but today in particular, this is kind of random and weird. My neighbors from back home who live next door to me are here in Budapest.
Your house is this with the ones on the left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're here in Budapest today.
The people on the podcast may have heard about them before.
Yeah, they might have. We mentioned it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely older ladies who have no concept of what esports and gaming is. They were like, we want to come see your studio. And I was like, it's an off day. I will not be going into the studio.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing there to show you.
Nah.
It's not like the cool spectacle or anything. I was like, it's a bad first
Tomorrow
image.
would be pretty good because Torji will be in the building.
Yeah, but they're leaving tomorrow.
Oh.
It's unfortunate.
What are you going to do?
I think I'm just
Take
going
me to the ruined bars.
Yeah, I might as well wander them through. Be like, this is where we had a shot of tequila last night. But no, they're doing like a river cruise. So like this is like the last day of their trip ends in Budapest, and they fly out of here on Thursday. So
Okay.
so I'm just gonna go meet up and have dinner.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got taken off of media. Fair enough. I
got taken off of media and it got given to Alex, and I think Alex said I don't want to do it either.
I haven't been put on the media.
Yes, this is my point.
I don't know what. Look, now I'm not saying I want to do media.
Right.
I just haven't been put on a media.
Yeah.
So
for me, I've done 2 days, and I'm just like, can someone else do it?
fair enough.
You know, can we spread the love?
Well, yeah, that's it. For people that don't know, these are paid days.
Yeah.
Maybe not fully paid days, but they are paid days.
Yeah.
We won't get into our payment structure.
I'm sure you guys would fucking love that, though, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you sick bastards?
Yeah. Pocket watch your motherfuckers. Okay, yeah, fair enough. So you got some nice things to do. Now today, I was thinking, I don't know how you feel, but I reckon we go a bit more broad on our experiences so far.
Okay.
Maybe some of the other news that's around, and then we can talk about stage 1, stage 2, and then for the pick'ems video, I like the way we did it last time. Not the pick'ems themselves, but using the pick'ems as a vehicle to discuss matches, qualification, everything.
Yes, and that's actually a pretty critical point of the Pick'ems video that many of you need to understand and accept. They are a vehicle to have a conversation. At the end of the day, I don't care what the scoreboard is on that pick'em.
No,
No,
it's the logic of
I
how we
just
get
don't.
there.
Yeah.
And it's also one of these things that's easy for people who are not going to get diamond coins to say, right? But it's also one of those things when I see people getting their nose put out, like, Valve, make it back to the other way, right? It's like, guys, again, like, if it's really hard and nobody gets a diamond coin, that just illustrates in the future when you look at it and you go, oh, wow, that was a major with crazy upsets, right? Like, you don't win for free, and the whole point is meant to tell the story of the event and the public expectation, guys. That's it. That's all this is. It's just a fun way to have a conversation.
And it's not meant to like get your knickers in a bunch, you know? Like, you know, just enjoy it. Have a good time with it.
Just a little bit of skin in the game.
Right.
Yeah, that's all it is. And we don't need to be too serious or too upset or too anything. We just have some fun with
It's
it.
a video game.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourselves.
At the end of the day. So did you just see the Glaive news? Apparently he's linked with 100 Thieves to be coaching over there, because we didn't discuss him retiring. I don't think.
Interesting. No, we didn't discuss him retiring.
But we could say all the same things like Glaive's a legend, 4-time major winner, part of the team that revolutionized the modern game, the blueprint for how utility and everything is played. And
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and that's not meant to discredit him or anything along those lines. I think Glaive is great. I like Glaive. I think he's a true leader. But everyone said it 100 times.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be repeated. We said it a lot during the rise up as well, during the era. But I mean, just one thing you could say is in some of those, ironically, in some of that media day content we recorded, where we just ask them the standard
IGL.
questions. Yeah, a lot of people are put him down for GOAT IGL.
Well, I
So
think
he still
this-
gets a lot of respect from the players.
This is another vehicle, right? We've had lots of GOAT conversations on Talking Counter, but it's the same thing here. It's like, how do you measure this? Are you looking for longevity, right? Then are you talking about someone who can do it with multiple different lineups? You look at the Karrigan. Are you looking at the
Everyone's got different GOAT criteria that
do you
they lean
use
into.
the trophy cabinet,
Yeah.
right, or the dominance of an era? Because Astralis are still to this day the greatest Counter-Strike team of all time.
Yeah, ever assembled.
And they're like the Avengers. Are they the greatest hero crew ever assembled?
Would that make Glaive Iron Man?
Oh,
Because Device would be the Captain America equivalent, Captain Denmark.
yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
A big brain, right? 'Cause
Magic would probably be Hulk.
big man, big brain, big heart.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no heart. Oh, I know he does have a heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magic, you reckon Magic is the Hulk?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What does that
What else
make?
are you making Black Widow?
What does that make Dupree?
Oh, Dupree. Dupree could be a Thor kind of a character. I feel. Well, doesn't have the look, does he? But it is Viking related. It is
Sure,
kind
but-
of right there.
Yeah. And then
But
obviously,
attitude-wise, it
obviously got
doesn't
Zip
fit.
as well.
Yeah. Well, Zip is like a Hawkeye, I think.
Wow. No
know?
one's Spider-Man?
Spider-Man wasn't in the. He's not one of the OG Avengers in the movies.
Oh, is he not?
If we're gonna go comically, literate, he probably
sorry.
is in there.
I don't know
I don't know
what's
how deep we want to get
canon.
into the lore, and this is where the viewers know more than we do, and let's not go down that road.
No, Jason, actually, in episode 6 of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Avengers third... Yeah, anyway.
I don't need to be seeing those comments.
Regardless, Glaive linked to 100 Thieves for the whole coaching situation. I think it's a pretty strong fundamental base in the sense of if Rain is going to in-game lead, which is I believe what he said with this 100 Thieves roster, to have Glaive, who is a big brain there to help him take over his first in-game leadership duties is a really nice synergy. The problem is it's a new coach and a new in-game leader. So I kind of feel like Glaive will function as the in-game leader until he learns to become a coach, while Rain will function as a map control player while he learns to become an in-game
IGL.
leader.
Yeah,
right?
it might be a rocky start for sure.
But it depends on what core they get, because that's the thing. What do Messioso and Sean want? Or we could call him Graham. We know him like that.
And I can't imagine. I mean, they were linked to what the Gamer Legion core when that first came out, but I can't imagine after the major that they're jumping all over that.
But that's
one.
the thing, because if you're looking to make sure that you get picking a team that's going to be high enough in the rankings, then maybe Gamer Legion's not the one
Not
at the
the play.
moment. So, because we obviously had this conversation around the bounty invites too.
Or is Graham going to be an absolute fucking legend and ignore the whole VRS core situation and just build a team?
Well, we know how fickle Nadeshot's been in the past, just coming in and out of Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
So how long is Graham being given to find a team to win? Or I guess how long is Sean being given to find a team to win with the assistance of Graham?
Well, I'd assume they're kind of would target to have the team ready for the 2026 season, right? So you'd imagine they want to have a lineup by January. You know,
No, of course. Well, Graham
I see
wants to
what
play.
you mean. Oh, you mean like how long was it going to take Graham to get a competitive team?
Right, because if it's like, because you could be bang on, they could say, okay, we understand in this VRS New World Order, we are going to give you the first 6 months to build a team from zero to hero. Graham understands the VRS just as good as anybody, right? If
Probably
not better
better
than
than
most.
anybody, yeah.
Exactly right. So it's like Graham would be able to, okay, we go to this event, we get the points here, and then just build a strong team of pieces and throw them together, because NIP's done it right there at this major.
Sure.
They showed that it is possible, but that means the first 6 months of 100 Thieves is going to be not playing in the upper echelons. And then even when you do break in, you're breaking into the bubble for the major to close out the year to hope you do well to then get enough points to keep you in that going into the following year. So essentially, if he's building a team just from pieces, we won't actually see them on our screens on a consistent basis at top tier Counter-Strike unless they unless they pop off in every event and own everything until 2027 on the regular circuit. So are you, as 100 Thieves, okay with that? To be honest, I haven't listened to a lot of the messaging. Like, I haven't watched the podcast with Sean, Ray, and
haven't either.
Messio. So, like, maybe we should just talk to Graham.
Yeah,
He's in our
we could just
Discord.
talk to Graham. Yeah,
I used him when
I
people asked.
talked to him a little bit last night as well.
While you're in
He's
the ruin
accessible.
bar.
Yeah,
Well, this is the thing, because he messaged. We didn't get a player, obviously, or a coach, because it's just us.
yeah.
Unless
it is just
we
us.
got Ghosty over here. You don't know him, but he works for one of the teams.
That's why you patted his head.
He's right here. He's on my shoulder. But I imagine Graham was going to palm us off, right?
Yeah, well, I told him, I was like, send Rain
Well,
over.
who else would he have been?
I don't know. He DM'd me all cryptic after I tweeted that, and he was like, "You'd only want Rain," and I was like, "I don't know, Graham. Who else you got on the team?"
Well, maybe a slave.
I know. That's the thing. Now I know.
What are the players you got, Graham?
Yeah. Who else is on the list?
And if you had something good, why didn't you say? We would have made something happen.
Yeah, we could have done a late night podcast for a direct flight.
We could have done it in my room because I have an Ethernet cable.
And it's less messy apparently.
Yeah. Well, Jason, you wouldn't believe it. It's just stunning. It's
Yeah, you were in bed at 8:00 last night. I imagine you had to spend some time cleaning
I
up.
ran a tight ship.
Don't have 17 water bottles laying around.
No, I don't have any water
Usually,
bottles.
I have like a one position that I keep all the empties in.
I really like this though. It's kind of like you're in college and you're doing a beer wall.
Oh yeah,
you know?
dude, it's just chaos. It's like where was I standing when I finished this water, and that's where it ends up.
But at least, at least you're staying hydrated.
Yeah.
And,
Doing my best out there.
Gotta respect our hydro homies out there. So, question is, what do they go for? Is it a core? Is it loose pieces? I imagine those conversations are going on right now because we just eliminated another 8 teams from the major. So that's some of the hot button topics outside of the major at the moment.
Can I ask you a question?
You may.
Is there any team who went out and grabbed a core of a team and has been able to maintain a decent level for longer than like 6 months?
Heroic? Well, they didn't make the major, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if the core is like really like the path to success. It's like the short term, thank God we're in the events and that's valuable. But like long term, I feel like grabbing the cores hasn't really played out to be a great option in terms of having that core be the core of the next team.
Sure, because it got them the first 6 months of 2025 for Heroic, right? When they had Saw, they had Sampius, and they had Tania, and then they lost those 3 pieces, had to bring back in Xfloud, and then did a bit of a rebuild around that, and now they're doing another one, right? They got rid of LNZ. There's rumors about Youngster going. They brought in Krisen.
And remember, Falcons has done the core move twice where they've gone and picked up a core, and it just seems like the idea is grab the core, get the short-term benefit of the invites, and then as soon as you're able to replace one of those players, like then you start building the team you want.
But that's what you would imagine to do, right? I think Falcons is the example of it working.
I just hate it.
The example of it working.
I guess kind of.
Well, it is. They're coming to this event as a top 3-4 team.
I know, but like, can we really call it working? Because like the first time they did it was like a year and a half ago, and they failed for like
before the VRS, though, right? VRS only this year, and this year they did.
I don't know, I just hate the concept. I hate teams buying cores.
They did
I think it's
Dexter,
gross.
Tessus, Kixin, right?
Yeah.
And now they still have Tessus and Kixin.
Yeah, who's the third player in that?
Yeah, Dexter,
Dexter.
right? And and then they've replaced it with Modesty.
Yeah,
It's like, okay,
that's fair play.
that is fair play.
Well, if the example is just like the richest organization we have in the scene, I guess that's like I don't know if I'd want to set that as the example, Like I don't want to know if I want to set that and say this is what success, what intelligent GMing looks like.
Well, not everyone can do it, but 100 Thieves are an org with a lot of money. They sell apparel.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming. Well, also I'm assuming 100 Thieves just got back into Counter-Strike for the sponsor.
I'm assuming these American organizations who are, more about lifestyle than about the actual games get in just for the sticker money.
Yeah.
Or just for the fun of it.
Yeah, just for the hell of it.
Yeah. I don't think there's do you think 100 Thieves will be in Counter-Strike in 5 years' time from now?
I hope so.
Well, I hope so too, but what does history tell you?
History says no.
And I'm a bit of a curmudgeon because the team that they let go of was the boys.
Well, even outside of the team they let go of, I think that was just kind of like, it felt, as someone who's part of the Counter-Strike scene and kind of reveres the Counter-Strike scene in a way, because it's part of my life for 20-some years, I thought that was just kind of gross, the way they bounced in and out just for sticker money.
Yeah. They also did get scorned the first time around with the Immortals team.
Yeah.
So, actually, we're even, Nade Shot. I'll let you have that one.
Oh, wow.
I'll let you have that one because that was not.
This is incredible personal growth.
That was not great.
Yeah.
But then the 100 with the boys, that one I didn't like.
That one I didn't like.
We'll call it Squids.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Starting a clean slate.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, let's talk. How was your desk with Dinka?
It was fun. It was good. We were stage 1. Actually, I don't even remember what game we did. I think we did NRG M80.
Oh.
It was the qualification game. Yeah, that was the one we did. So like it was easy. It was fun. It was a good time. I mean, Dinko was he was like more ready for it than I thought he was. But I mean, it's kind of easy to like be the guy like as you were with your desk. You took over control of your desk a lot more than I did, but it's easy as the guy who's been on the desk to be able to set a play-by-play up for just an easy layup comment.
Sure.
You know, like I'm trying to like, it's like, hey, okay, don't give any strong opinions, don't say anything crazy, don't get into the Counter-Strike, just stick to storylines. Bingo, bango, bongo. This is my in-game angle of it. You're gonna take that and you're gonna like kind of build the storyline around what I said. It was nice and easy.
I know you and I we have never discussed analyst desk philosophy, but I'd imagine we have a similar analyst desk philosophy.
Yeah.
Like you and I are of the chameleon breed.
Yeah.
We will do what is required based on the other personnel there.
Yeah, understanding what personalities you have to work with and understanding where you need to fit in. Some
Do I
desks,
need to
you
do
need to
more
be
of
a
the
little bit more of the
stats?
goofy side of things. When I'm on a desk with Yanko, I don't need to do anything in terms of Counter-Strike. I can be a little bit more fun and storyline. When I'm not on a desk with Yanko and it's with Dinko, I have to be a little bit more Counter-Strike focused. If you're with Duncan, you got to give him a lot of space to tell jokes. Yeah, everyone's got a style.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, being cognizant of that while you do your job is definitely going to make it a lot easier. But people may be wondering why we were doing desk work. I just mentioned this on HOTV Confirm yesterday. I just said contractually we are to work every day of the broadcast, and well, only 3 casting pairs can cast the final day of each stage.
Yep.
So that I left it there.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk more about it in the future.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like nefarious or all that crazy. It just is essentially like they just don't want to pay us to have a day off.
Yeah,
which is fair play.
I completely get it.
Yeah.
I would be doing the same thing, getting the most value for your bang for your buck.
And I mean, ironically, I've been like telling TOs I want to do this for like a long time, which is like, let me cast your event and I'll come do some desk segments to help get us through it. Like, I'm happy to hop on the desk.
It was kind of fun.
But if you only hire me for the desk, then I just have to pass. But if I can cast and I can hop on some desks and be of assistance that way and use some of my skill set in that way, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, I liked it. I just sat in production behind J-Raz, so we're watching him and Chev observe. Miles and Zarks are there as well, but they're doing like either like context or they're doing delay and they're catching stuff. So just watching and seeing like the way that they com to each other and if they do like a really good round that they observed and stuff.
Do they,
like,
do, do they high five each other?
They're like, that was nice.
G each other up.
But like, I'll be honest, in terms of like people know I love Rushley. And this is not to detract or take anything from Rushley. He's in the same conversation. But to see people who are, especially these boys, who are doing every game every day, as locked in as they are, and they take so much pride within their work, and they are what you at home are watching for 85% of the broadcast. Yeah. Right? So shout out to those boys because they're putting in big shifts.
Dude, it's so funny how over the years, like I always notice that when I like drop down to do like a tier 2 or tier 3 event that like doesn't have like the top observers is like, you realize how much of a crutch like having a good observer is. Yeah, it's so much harder to cast like a complete game and complete picture of the game and hit all the right storylines when observing is like bouncing all over the place. So like when I go do those events, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm actually like bad at casting now if I don't have good observers. It changes. So used to casting with good observing.
It changes the way I cast, right? Because if I know that, and observers can have bad days too. Like we all have bad days. There's no doubt about that. But sometimes you feel that, and especially in chaotic games when there's so much going on, I'm obviously not doing the play-by-play, so I have an opportunity to like lead the observer. Like if something's about to happen action off screen as he's looking at something in a fade in a smoke or whatever, and I'm like, but here, and then you know you're kind of helping each other out.
Yes.
Right. So you're casting and the observer showing the play. Like I think for the play-by-play, them being locked into what's being delivered to them on the screen is hugely important because they're going from flow to flow.
Yeah.
Right. The observer and the play-by-play, like how if locked in, it can have this really nice flow to it. If not, it can be quite jarring, and then the play-by-play kind of has to read from the kill feed, which you know is fine too, right? As long as you're conveying the message.
I mean, we've gotten good enough to where we can style that out without the viewer noticing that we're just reading the kill feed.
But people know when it's confusing, and sometimes if you're the observers, like they see something that's happening, and there's like 2 fights that are going on at the same time, and it's like you have to pick one.
Yep.
Right. You never know. Like you're doing your best off of all of your experience to gauge which is going to be the winner. That's where I like that. I'm seeing a bit more pip in the games these days.
Still not a huge fan of pip.
If it's done correctly, I think it's good.
Okay.
I think I like it because
I still don't like the 1v1 cams and clutches.
Oh, I don't like that.
I hate that stuff.
No, I don't like that.
The pip, what event did that where they had the pip on like a lurk on the other side of the map?
TWC
was doing
I think that's JNZ. He's doing a bit of that. But yeah, I think pip for lurks is good, or pip for like, you know, when
context.
Exactly. Oh, there's no kit, and then it shows like the pip of the kit, or it's like you're seeing the execute from a bird's eye or whatever, so you're getting more context of what's going on in this. And I think that it definitely, if used correctly, I think pip's great.
Okay.
I'm a pip fan.
I think it's always distracting to me. Like if like, you know, I'm thinking like if there's like a cat execute and the pip comes in of like the long lurk, my brain almost like is trying to focus on the execute and what's happening, but also like paying attention to the pip, and then I feel like I just don't get a clean look at anything.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
But
okay,
I mean,
it's all situational and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
too. So like, you know, so I can understand that. Sometimes it is good, sometimes it is bad. Sometimes you want to talk about it, sometimes you don't. All of those things are kind of up for debate every time around this unfold.
I think it is cool though. It would be nice to have it in a way that like could just nail it every single time, but it's a hard thing to add into.
Yeah, and like this is the other thing. When a game of Counter-Strike's going on, what's important to you might be different to what's important to me.
Correct.
As part of the story being told, which would be the same from an observer or a context or whatever. So there's always all of that going in. But we had Lake on, obviously. People at home would know this. So we were just talking to him. We didn't really do like a post-mortem conversation of like what happened in stage 1. We did our predictions of what was going to happen in stage 2, which was very Counter-Strike focused. But obviously we're here on the ground, and there's, you know, certain things that we've been experiencing and whatnot. Obviously day 1 was rough, right? I think the level, this is, I don't want to say it's common, because I think in more recent times,
Historically, it's been common.
yes, but we're from the olden days. So we have more of a vivid memory because we've, you know, had a face at major where some games were pushed over to the next day, or we've had these big tech issues and we've seen these delays and .
Yeah.
So I think because you would expect things to scale up over time, right? That was where the community expectation has been at, especially coming out of the partner era events where ESL and Blast were relatively polished.
Yeah.
And then to have like Starlighter, it's quite jarring for people with it being the major. But since day 1, maybe there was a couple little issues into day 2, very, very minor.
I think after day 1, most of the issues felt more on like the back end.
Yes,
like
and now
not visible to the viewer.
And everything's smooth as fuck.
Yeah, everything's
smooth AF.
everything's
couple
cooking.
of tech issues, but nothing that I would say is egregious. Like we had to have a PC swap out. I think I don't even know. It's just we had a lengthy delay where it was like 15-20 minutes in our 3D Max game. So I assume that they
Feels
swapped
very
PC. Maybe
swappy.
they swapped SSD. The standard players like taking a tech to fix TeamSpeak or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, other than day 1 being a bit of a mess, I've been watching, obviously, when I get back to the hotel or before I go in on my laptop or on my phone, and the viewing experience has been what I would expect.
Yeah, Counter-Strike's being delivered to the screen. At the end of the day, that's what matters the most.
Yeah. There's some other things that I think are cool, like those cross-cut videos. So like when the players end their match, they go back to the hotel and then they're in a room where they're going to be talking about that best of 3, about like the game they just played and the opponent they're about to go up against. And they edit those videos overnight and then play them just before we go into match. I think they're really good.
Okay.
They offer some nice insight. And also, it's like what we would do for playoff games. Hello?
That's my neighbor.
No, well,
I'll call him afterwards.
what time were they expecting you?
They said they were busy until like 1 o'clock.
So maybe they're done a little bit early.
Maybe, but 1 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Maybe
That's
we
not
do
a
that.
hard exit. I'm just saying.
That's fine.
I'll call him after this and
We'll
be
call
like,
them online. Hey, how you going?
let's meet for dinner at
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
How your dogs doing?
Yeah.
They got dogs too?
They got dogs too. Jane goes over there and helps take care of them.
Oh, look at that. What a great relationship.
Yeah, gotta have neighbors.
Isn't
man.
that nice?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, in general, like people are going to be like, nah, but that fucking sucks. Guys, you're entitled to your opinion. We're entitled to ours. I'm not projecting them. I'm just telling you how it is from my position on the ground.
Yeah.
I on HLTV, I think I said like day 1 was diabolically bad, right? And that I think even maybe an overswing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe I went a little bit because it was bad. There was a 2-hour delay. The audio was really bad.
It was bad on the front end and the back end on day 1.
We didn't
It's like-
even know we were on camera. I mean, Alex is standing up and like, you know, adjusting our pants and shit.
They caught me a couple times like putting a water under the table or like not paying attention.
But it wasn't on PGM. Didn't even know I was there.
Yeah,
if I was
yeah.
on PGM, I'm not going to be doing that, right? But it's fine. It's solved now.
It's all
Everything's good.
We're all happy.
Everything's gone relatively
sailing in
smoothly.
stage 2. Stage 3 is going to be just fun.
Yes, and there'll be a bigger crowd. Torji will be in the arena and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
Flashy's going to be there as well. Other hometown hero.
Yep. Let me have a drink. I'm a bit parched.
Yeah, I was looking around and trying to figure out which one of my bottles actually had water in it. So.
Do you want me to grab one of them for you?
Yeah, there's one right up there.
Can you hold
above
on
the
to my mic? Talking
Yeah, I
about
can. Okay. Well, that's going to be weird. We'll just hang out like that. So, what's up, everybody? It's a Wednesday here in Budapest. Stage 3 is about to begin. It's really exciting stuff. And he's back. See, look at that organization. Wherever I go in the room, I've got a water available to me.
True.
It's kind of actually the best strategy of all time.
That is true. All right, I did make some notes.
Okay. He's brought out the notepad.
This is my like everyday thinking notepad.
Okay.
And then my bigger one is like,
Are you willing to show the viewers what you have written on that notepad?
this is just numbers and map names.
Okay. So just if you want to know what kind of prep.
But this was just talking about the amount of maps that have been played.
Mirage, for all the hate it gets, is the most played map.
Yep, Train is second, which is surprising.
That's actually kind of cool, though. I like that.
Yeah. So 20 for Mirage, 18 for Train, 16 for Dust 2, Inferno 15, Nuke 14, Ancient 10, Overpass 8, and Ancient is the only T-sided map once I amalgamated both stages into one.
Inferno's not T-sided right now.
Just, yeah. Well, it's close to the 50-50, okay. Right? But yeah, the only 100%, not 100% T-side, the only one that has the T-side bar higher than the CT-side bar is Ancient at the moment.
That's weird. I would have never guessed that.
I'm also surprised that Ancient is the second least played map. I'm not surprised that Overpass is because best of ones, T-side starts, all that kind of jazz. I'd also on this side written 17, which is, and then +1, 10, and 5 -1. Do you know what that is?
No.
That is the Cologne slot distribution. So EU went from 16 up to 17 slots for Cologne.
Oh, sure.
The Americas stayed at 10, and Asia lost one. Really strong. Down to 5.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So that's what those numbers mean. And then I wrote seeding and veto.
Okay, seeding and veto.
But they'll be important. We can talk about those in the Pick'em video.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's silver and black. We've got the silver version. And as you can see, the big thing is that split spacebar is probably going to be a little bit freaky to the eyes right out of the gate.
It feels hefty, which is nice. It feels quality, you know. It doesn't feel cheap and flimsy. Like it's got some
It's staying power.
It's got some juice to it. I like it. And this spacebar situation, I wasn't sure how they were going to divvy it up, but it's kind of like a smaller one in the middle. Yeah, hopefully people can see that, and then 2 kind of half space bars on either side. Are they even the same size?
No,
they're slightly different.
The one on the left is slightly bigger than the one on the right. Okay. Because they didn't want the accidentally pressing it, you know, with where it rests. They found that like where the thumb rests on the left hand.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make that one a little bit bigger so it has a little bit more access to it. But yeah, give those keys a press too. They sound lovely when they're right out of the box. Actually, this would be a good time to mention. I didn't even think about it.
Oh, the giveaway.
The giveaway.
This is perfect. Huh?
Yeah. So we're doing a giveaway for one of the Wooting, the brand new Wooting 60 HE V2 that we've been pumping at y'all. Just went live in the Discord. So if you guys aren't in the Discord, you should get in the Discord. And this giveaway, it's time sensitive. So you should do it right now. As you're listening to this, you should be getting into the Discord and click on the forms.
This is very important.
It's Pick'ems related, which means you really only have until when the games begin tomorrow morning to get involved and actually make a submission. So
you got a good chance in that case.
Yeah, you do. You guys have time, but get to it. Don't forget. Don't go do something else and forget. I do that shit all the time. But we have a Google form sheet. Go in, fill out your pick'ems through our Google form. And what we're doing is every pick'em you get correct equals 1 raffle ticket. And we're going to enter everyone's raffle tickets at the end into one big draw. So if you get 2 correct pick'ems, you get 2 raffle tickets. If you get 8 correct pick'ems in stage 3, you get 8 tickets. And we put them all into a big pot, and we're just going to draw. So you have as many chances as how strong your pick'ems are.
Okay.
I tried to make it harsh at the start, and then I felt bad.
I like this new angle.
It's very inclusive.
Yeah, it is. And it should be. Everyone wants to get their hands on one of these little buttes. I can see you're sitting back there.
I was using it. It's great, man.
Yeah. Well, look, to shout out again, thanks to Wooting for partnering with us throughout the major. I said we didn't tweet it. Are we just going to keep it exclusive to the crew that's in there?
No, I'm going to tweet it. I posted it like literally as we were out the door last night to go out to the bar. So I was kind of like,
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry to the normie users because there will be other users coming in.
Yeah.
You guys are great. I've been talking to you a lot in these last couple of days.
Yeah, you've been really active in there.
Yeah, but I've been more troll. They're not getting any juice out of me
That's
anymore.
What you need. That's what you do. Yeah,
anything anymore,
Nothing they can put on Reddit.
Not after that rats. Psychological fucking Chaos Flame, whatever his fucking name is. He's banned for life. Banned for life. He's banned for life. He's the only member who'll be banned for life from Talking Counter.
Good for you. Okay,
anybody else will be able to appeal unless they're using racial slurs.
Yeah, racial slurs are
other slurs.
Yeah,
all slurs bad. Just led with racial slurs.
Yeah, well, it's the most notorious of the slurs.
Anyway, get me out of here, please, Jason.
What you got on your little digital notepad?
The scroll of the Crimson Spire, fragment XXI. In the 2025th turning of the wheel, when the Starladder Major was held beneath the twin moons of Budapest,
I'm with you.
The sacred Danube River ran dry with anticipation.
Fuck yeah.
Thus spake the chronicler, James, the Time Lord of Parivision, anointed in the frost and fire, champion of the Brazilian battlefield, entered the MTK's shadowed vault with Dastan, the iron-voiced Eva at his right-hand side.
The iron voiced, I like that.
4 disciples born under the same star followed as the prophecy foretold. Nota, who walked without sound. AW, whose clutches split the heavens. Belchanok, the wall that no bullet could sunder. And Zello, whose eyes burned with the fury of 1,000 suns. On the dust of mirage, when only 2 souls remained, Dastan uttered the ancient rite. Save, you bots! The lost tablet of the humiliation ritual unearthed beneath NIP's ruined corpses. Thus did Budapest weep silver tears into the night river. Engraved by the last scribe, time stops for no one. On the stage upon the cracked stones of Inferno, as 40,000 voices shook the heavens, the exalted cup never once caught the affections of their desires. Such a task, stealing from the hands of giants. Thus did Parivision ascend. Dastan raised his voice but once. Harosh!
In that iron voice.
5 hearts beat as one. The bomb timer fell silent, and the 5 became legend. The cup was lifted beneath Hungarian stars, and the name Parivision was carved eternal into the crimson stone. So it was written, so it shall be remembered.
That's beautiful.
Thanks, Jason.
That's powerful.
That's what I did this
powerful
morning.
shit. Is that
While I was waiting for you, that's what I did this morning.
that's so when you said I'm prepping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now is that a Chat Bird Show classic the whole way through, or is that like a Chat GPT spit some things out, reword it a little bit?
Of AI.
Okay.
Little bit of Chad.
You know what? I feel like I could feel the Chad within the AI there. That was good.
Thank you. You know, if you're going to use AI to do your assignments, make sure that you mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. It's like change the answers a little bit. Yeah. I like it.
So let's shame the Time Lord.
Well, Parivision, they've shocked us all,
haven't they? Well, I had them going through.
I didn't have them going through stage 2.
I did.
I didn't have them going through stage 1 either.
Mate, I only got 3 teams going through. Well, actually, I got more than 3, but in terms of the 3 or whatever, that's a pick-em conversation. But I did like what I saw from Parivision.
I did too. They were fun. And also,
so clutchy.
Belchanok is such a fucking badass name for the game of Counter-Strike. It's so powerful.
Yeah, but while I was waiting to cast the games on the second to last day of this stage, I was watching the NIP game against Parivision, and it was so clutchy. Like Jane winning that 1v2 on Dust 2, then Riku gets one, then on Train there's a bunch of clutches. There's that AW clutch coming up through CT Spawn. It was a really fun game, and it's fun to watch. And there were some more numbers in this book. There are 8 out of the 19 rookies, the major, who are in stage 3. So Kiyoshima is the only one who started in stage 3.
He's a major rookie.
Yeah, so seven other rookies have made it from stage 1/stage 2 into stage 3.
Okay.
It's Mikazi, it's
The 4 Parivision boys.
Yes, Jacob and Kvem.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah, plus
It was cool too. Even Jacob stepped up for FaZe. Like Jacob had like some really good performance for them in the stage. Kvem, I think, looked decent in that Passion team.
Yeah, in the games
didn't look scared as a rookie. I'll say is the best way to phrase it. Maybe.
Yeah, well, but he's put in like on. So it's not like this is the thing. There's like a balance between him and Grim, and also some of the positions on their team are kind of weird. Like for example, wonky. The overpass. It's like Grim's the rotator on overpass CT side. JT's the A rifler, which I feel like Grim would be. Grim or Kvem, right? You'd want, but Kvem's the short player and Nyx is the monster guy.
It feels like you should have Grim as the A rifler.
Or Kvem, right? Because Kvem plays connector on Mirage, Grim anchors A. So like they have more aggressive pieces now, but they've only been together for 3.5 months, right? 3.5, 4 months since they joined Passion UA and reunited with the Doc. I'm calling
TC,
him.
the Doc.
The Doc. So yeah, I think them eking through was good for JT yesterday as well. It's the first time he's ever progressed.
Which is crazy.
Well, that's same for Hausuk and Grim, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe not for Grim. Either way.
Well, he had that couple liquid majors.
Exactly right.
It might have.
So it was the 6th major. This is the 6th major for JT, and the first time he's progressed. Not the first time he's been in the top 16 because they were there at was it Shanghai?
Have to.
It was one of the events where they, like, because of their RMR placement, they were placed already into the top 16.
I would have had to have been Shanghai, I think.
But either way, yeah. So that's the X's and the O's.
Well, I think that was just another team too, where I don't think anyone pointed at them and could have said like, this is a team that's going to be able to compete even in stage 2, just because we haven't seen them play like since they joined Passion, right? They've been at the smaller events. They've been grinding like the CCT level events.
They played in Bucharest.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had they played 3 Draculans since they've been in Passion UA.
Yeah.
And the last one was the most concerning, but it's not that they like bombed out, it's just they came 3rd or something like that, right?
Well, they also lost to a team that you're kind of like, who?
Well, everyone's losing a foot these days, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've had FaZe losing a foot, right? So, yeah. And this is the thing, like, obviously, FlyQuest absolutely fucking shut the bed from their stage 1 performance.
Hell yeah, that was sad.
I think like there's a few things that exist at the same time here. One being their stage 1 teams paled in comparison to the stage 2 teams that they played against, right? So their opening game was against Na'Vi. They got absolutely fucking ruffle stomped.
Yes, they did.
12-0 first half. Then they played against 3D Max in their next game, gave 3D Max Inferno, which I thought was probably not the right play, but whatever. And then they ended up losing the first half 11-1, and then they played against Astralis, which Overpass was close, but you let Astralis win Mirage, which if you're doing that, you never win in the series.
Yeah.
And Vexite went from like the highest rated player of stage 1 to the lowest rated player of stage 2, so a massive drop off there.
Yeah.
I didn't like the attitude that I saw out of the team on day 1. Maybe the attitude was fine, and it is hard to have a good attitude when you get
beat 12-0 and 11-1.
Yes, but just such a massive fall off between the two.
Yeah, it was sad.
So yeah, I think any highlights they may have had from actually, like for INS, right, progressing, a similar story as what was there with, like, they had the 2-2 curse. So yeah, I think when you kind of factor all that in, any of the positives that they maybe were hoping to take away, I feel like they were washed away by not being able to do anything against the better teams in stage 2.
Yeah.
So it's pretty disappointing. Yeah, that's all there is, really.
That's all there is.
That's all there is.
Yeah, it was weird seeing so many teams came in. Like stage 1, I felt like was like it felt like there were a lot of the favorite teams that I had to like go through 3-0 and do really well. Like just had like this really shit form to start, and individuals were missing, and like star players not showing up. Like you think some of like the strong players that are supposed to be like the fragging engine of teams weren't there in stage 1, and I felt like stage 2 was like a lot of the same. It was just like day 1 was just like players just didn't show up.
I've quoted this a bit recently. So back in stage 3 of Austin, in the opening round, or the best of ones, 5 teams who progressed from stage 2 won their opening games. Here in Budapest, from stage 1 to stage 2, so playing in stage 2, 5 teams in their opening round who won their opening games were from stage 1.
Yeah.
So this is a twofold factor. Obviously, the best of ones. And the being warm and understanding the environment, right? That's why, for me, like, I see a lot of conversation about this, and obviously when I was making my comments last episode of HLTV Confirmed, and it kind of popped up about, the teams in stage 1 don't deserve best of 3s, A lot of people took issue with that. That's fine. Like, people seem to have selective hearing.
Stage 1 was really rough Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's okay. But if I could, like, we have to think about the way that these formats will evolve over time. My ideal preference is all 32 teams start at once. Now, whether that is 2 groups of 16 and they're like a week apart or whatever, or whether that is we can, because I know, like, if I'm a Uli Schultzer and I listen to this, and he'd be sitting there shaking his head, he's going, Chad, you know how much money it would cost to have 32 teams with 32 prac rooms with all the different. That's what. And I sit there and I go, Uli, you're right.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's the evolution in an ideal world. But having it as we have it right now, we should never be having a conversation where I'm having to talk about one team being warm in an environment and one team not being warm in an environment.
I know, it's kind of I'm with you. I hate that kind of phrasing that you kind of have to pose it as a certain storyline and as like as a potential, I guess, spanner in the works.
It's almost as tough to talk about as FaZe in playoffs.
Yes, FaZe in playoffs. Really, at this point. Playoffs. Yeah, we all know what that means, everybody. We've all been here before.
It's in their DNA, right? That's what Carrigan said. But look, if I could pick a short-term solution, because obviously we need to get all of this past Valve. Valve have to agree. So the fact we got the best of 5 final past Valve, that's a win for the big guys.
I know, but you know what's funny is they finally give us the best of 5 final. We're like, great. How about best of 3s in stage 2 and 3?
Yeah, but
they're like, can we guys just chill? Can we?
Yeah,
you
but I
guys just
reckon-
got something you wanted. You think now's the time? They brought it up.
We're the spoiled children, Jason.
That's true.
Whose parents, they're away all the time. And when they come home, we demand a present.
Yeah.
And for Cologne, we want a present.
Yeah. If you're gonna be absent, at least bring me
Yeah.
something.
So here's oh, that wasn't a dig at you, by the way.
It
wasn't that
It
way.
did cross my mind. I was like, is he taking a shot at me?
I'm an absent son. When I go home to see my parents,
you bring a gift?
I'm the gift. But people think we can have everything at once. We can't have everything at once because that's not the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately, guys. In an ideal world, we get everything at once.
It would be nice.
In an ideal world, we get all 32 teams starting at the same stage, but we don't have that. So let's say that you have the option between keeping the format as it is now across all stages and playoffs, or you get best of 3s all the way for stage 2 and 3, but stage 1 retains its current status. What do you take?
I'm with that. I like that. I mean, I think stage 2 and 3 should have best of 3s.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I think that would be a huge win. If stage 1 was just like, here are your best of 1 still, let's get this out of the way. Stage 2, stage 3, those are
Because
BO3s.
stage 1, we can still use the best of 3s for the progression or elimination games. As
Keep it the
bar.
way it is right now.
Yeah, but have the opening rounds as the best of 1s the way they are, right? Because at that point, like,
I'm even not against even stage 2 keeping best of 1s and stage 3 just having the best of 3s.
Okay, well,
that
hold
wouldn't
up.
piss me off. That'd be a nice compromise. to
Jason,
start.
if we're offered the finger, let's take the arm.
Yeah, but I'm the freak who kind of enjoys the best of 1s to a certain extent. I like the havoc it creates in the Swiss system because the Swiss system is boring as fuck to me. So I like when there's some best of 1s upsets on the opening days because that's when you get FaZe under pressure. You
Sure.
get FaZe in an early elimination game.
Sure.
I enjoy that. And I know it's not like the ideal thing for a competitor in a competitive format, but I think that is a nice blend of entertainment for the viewer and for the people watching.
Yeah, I guess the thing for me is, and where most viewers will tune in, I was thinking about this earlier. I'm probably going to get the list wrong immediate, like off the top of the dome here, but let me list the 8 teams that would guarantee the biggest fan base excitement
Sure.
for the arenas, right? Either in the arena or people viewing at home. Now, let's see if I can remember all of these. I'm going to start with the easiest one that has the smallest actual fan base, but biggest because of where we are.
Okay.
Mouse. Now, I know people think that Mouse need to wear adult diapers because they shit the bed on stage. That's fine. And they're auraless, all those things. You guys can have all that. But regardless, we are in Torji's home country.
Yep.
So immediately, massive buff there, right?
Yep.
Massive. So Mouse is number 1. Then obviously there are the ones that are easy to go through. Vitality, no-brainer. Spirit, Falcons, Furia. There's 5.
Yep.
Now from here, we start looking at teams who are good, but maybe aren't great at the moment, but have big fan bases.
Easy one's FaZe.
Yep, Navi.
Yep. Navi.
It's one more European team.
Why is my brain broken right now?
It's G2.
Yeah, that's the one.
Because they obviously have had a big support base in Counter-Strike, but also have support across massive other games like League of Legends,
They just
for
have
example.
a huge G2 fan base built up
Exactly.
that's going to tune in.
Exactly.
Yep.
Those 8 teams. Now, am I saying those are the 8 teams that I think are going to go through? No, before this gets misquoted. But I
But in
think
terms of fan bases, in terms of hype for inside the arena, those are the valuable
those
brands
guarantee
and organizations.
insane viewership across. Now, obviously, the thing you can't measure or the thing you can't guarantee, like what really does guarantee viewership is when 2 massive orgs are locking horns and it's going into overtime. That's what gets viewership fucking peaking.
Yeah.
Right? You can't guarantee that happens, but you can have, and you can't guarantee the teams will be there either. But if these names were there, you know that you're going to have a strong base of people who are excited for those games.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got here. What were we talking about before this?
I don't know, but we were talking about the most exciting teams to have for the crowd, for the environment.
Yeah, before that.
Before that, where were we? I don't know. I was focused on format stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so you're happy with stage 2 even having best of 1s and the best of 3s?
Yeah.
Okay, well
Because I think when we get to stage 2, I think there's enough teams here to be able to power through some of those BO1 losses to still make stage 3 interesting. Like you might lose a good team along the way, but I think there's enough good teams to fill that gap and say, okay, well, if you beat this team, if this team's knocked out, like you earned your passage here.
Okay, how does this justification sound though? We can still disagree, but
Yeah.
Stage 1 can open with best of 1s because everyone is starting from the same level of warmth, which is nothing. They're cold, right?
Yeah.
So no one has played a single game. But stage 2 and stage 3 needs that mitigating factor of depth of map pool because stage 1 teams are warm and stage 2 teams aren't. Or stage 2 teams are warm and stage 3 teams aren't.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
That's a win for the big guys.
I don't think the big guys need it though. I think they have enough advantages. Like you're starting deeper in the tournament, you know? Like you avoid 5 chances to get eliminated.
Jason, what country are you from?
America.
The big guys always win.
Yeah, exactly. They're still winning.
Yeah, but
They get the salaries. They get
Fine.
the sports psychologists. They get they get all the Skybox fucking subscriptions.
yeah, yeah, man. Okay, yeah, it's the Skybox subscriptions. Yeah, no, fair enough. Okay, well,
I just
that was my logic.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I fully buy into your logic. Again, it's like I feel bad whenever we had this conversation because I'm like, there's actually nothing you can say because I don't care about it from a competitive perspective. I just like the entertainment value of the
Fair
ones.
enough.
You know, like in that sense, it's like I agree with you 100%.
Oh,
Everything you say is correct from a competitive perspective, but I'm not taking a competitive perspective with it.
Here's one because we did get the competitive perspective from Lake regarding the cry wall.
And then he had to go do it. I was dying.
Yeah, well,
I felt
I'm
so
sure he
bad.
was dying.
I'm surprised he stayed there.
Well, what are you going to do? I was thinking about this more because when
What are they going to do if a player just marches off and says no?
but think about how that reflects from a community perspective. So look, if I'm a player, I'm not for the cry wall. If I'm a person for the entertainment factor that you are, then the humiliation ritual, I get it, right? Does it mean I love it?
Don't use my fucking entertainment focus against me when it comes to the cry wall.
What do you mean? You're using it for format. I'm using it for something
Don't
much
fucking
less
turn
egregious.
my own rules against me.
But see, like I'm whatever, right? Like if I was a player, I'd fucking hate it.
Yeah.
But and I know I was a player, so maybe I should be a little bit more sympathetic, empathetic, whatever the thetics are. I'm pathetic towards the players and be like, yeah, this sucks for them. But it's sport. Maybe I don't love the way that it's being necessarily done. It's gotten better, right? Like in terms, they've made some adjustments to things and stuff.
Music's not as sad anymore.
Right,
Which
so
helps.
they have made adjustments, and essentially it is just a loser's interview where the rest of the team just stand there and look sad because guess what? They're sad. But the angle that you're proposing here is like, oh yeah, they're going to have a tantrum. It's going to reflect really poorly if you have a tantrum because it'll end up on Reddit, and then there'll be people who will be like, well, I get it, that's really sad, and that sucks. And there are other people who are like, you're a competitor who gets paid a lot of money. Stand there, motherfucker, for my entertainment.
I know,
right?
but people who are saying that on forums, like, that shit's like gross to me. I'm like, I don't know. The conversation publicly, and I haven't kept track of everything, but the ones that I've seen, it's like, it feels so weird because it's like, why is everyone bitching? These players should do exit interviews. And it's like, no one's really saying take away the exit interviews. It's just like, do we need to have them standing here so we can just watch them cry and be devastated?
Well, you're
for
saying
5
the
minutes?
emotion.
Yeah, but you see the emotion all the time. Like, when have we not seen the emotion? It's like we don't need them to stand there at the cry wall to see the emotion. Like, we see it all the time when they're sitting there and they go to and one team's celebrating, the camera cuts back to the losing team, and 2 players are tearing up their setup, and one guy's got fucking head in his hands and half crying, and like we have the ability to see the emotion already.
Sure.
I think what I felt bad like watching Astralis go through it. I was sat there and like in my head I was like, Device is considered one of the greatest players of all time. He's a 4-time major champion, a 2-time major MVP, and he just has to stand here and like take this like emotional beating while everyone just watches.
Well,
And I was
props to
like,
him. He did a interview with HLTV after. I was listening to it this morning. He didn't have a lot there wasn't a lot to say because of the despair, and it was only really talking about himself and his performances and stuff. Hooksy doing the interview there, Hooksy's body language there was like, I want to fucking rip someone's head off. Like you could see that the way that he walked over to get the thing from the board and stuff. But
that's the element of it I don't like. Is like going to the board and getting your logo, signing the picture. I'm like, it's like a game show. It's like, we're not making like fucking reality television. This isn't Survivor.
yeah, I think there could be a different angle of which, that they are taken off. Like I was talking about this with Harry last night. He had some cool ideas that he said he'd pitched to some people before that are symbolic, right? There is a gesture to it. Or I don't want to give them away. They were Harry's ideas. So yeah, I think we can nitpick the way it's happening or some of the other details. But if you look at it from Starlighters' perspective, they are trying to milk every moment of content available, even on your way out the door, as you're feeling your worst. And
I do have to give them credit because, they also did it in a way where they're taking a risk and trying something new that other TOs haven't done. So as much as I might not like it on the
They're
outside
pushing
for
the
some
envelope.
values of it. Yeah, I think pushing the envelope and then seeing where the boundary is a good thing.
They're getting some, I think Don did some in-between map interviews there yesterday as well.
Yeah.
I think what happens there is because they do an in-between map interview, they get more time extended between maps because of that, which is nice,
Yeah.
right? Because if you're going to spend the time to give an insight and you're going to lose time to talk to your team, you deserve to have that time to talk to your team.
Yes.
So as long as that it's that way, and I think you can turn down those interviews. I don't think you have to do them.
Sure.
So props to the people who are doing them.
Yeah. And we do have a lot of players who are starting to be very good at that and understand why we do it as well.
Yeah.
Players are way more on board with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Blast do that one as soon as the game ends on the stage for the map. They take well, maybe it's not always the loser, but they were taking the loser, taking them out into the middle of the stage and doing it there. That seems very performative to me. Like if it was just with them in the booth as they were exiting or something.
Yeah.
But Blast are doing it for the show. Blast have always done everything for the show.
Yeah.
The one that it was done with Donna, I'm pretty sure, was just at an interview wall or backstage or whatever. So that to me feels a little bit more, I don't say organic, it's an interview, it's manufactured, there's cameras on, but it feels a little bit more par for the course of what I'd expect.
Yeah, and it also, I mean, it feels like you're just grabbing a player really quick as he's going out. If you're bringing someone out to the stage for the interview, you're like, okay, now you're actually taking some time out of this. Now you're actually making this more of a thing.
ESO tried it, but what theirs would do is it would be like Freya or Trace or Shocks walking away from the team and be like, I just spoke to such and such. And to me, it's like, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to offer an insight, but if it's not from the horse's mouth,
Right.
then
It doesn't have the same impact if it's been filtered through the interview.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and that's nothing against the interviewers at all. Like they've most of the time they're getting told that's the bit that they have to do.
Yeah, it's also probably the TO finding the middle ground that makes the players and the teams happy, content at least.
Yes.
Instead of having to dedicate too much time.
I think out of all of the TOs, like PGO and ESO are the most like player focused in like not stepping on toes or upsetting.
Yeah.
Whereas I think they could both maybe take a little bit more based off of what I've seen from other TOs.
Yeah.
Like they could be like, no, we want to be a bit more demanding here. But you want to keep them on side because now in the VRS, if a team gets miffed at you, they just won't come to your events.
Yeah, let's turn it down. Yeah. There's no more partnerships to keep them there. Yeah.
You've got to tiptoe that fine line.
Aren't you?
Yeah. So that's a tough one there. But yeah, I think that there's been some cool show elements. Yesterday, I got on the desk segment. I got to play around. I had some like voice comm pieces that I
I
requested
saw
and
that.
stuff.
Were you listening to the voice comms as the game was going on, or did you just guess? You were like, this is a chaotic situation. Comms are probably going to have something here.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted to grab scenarios where I questioned the choices that were being made and see if we could find an answer together. Right, so there was one that I did where I had like a 2D map set up on Mirage. It was showing this A split that was happening from M80 against Passion, and it's like an exchange went down in middle. Fucking Slacks AWP'd Hauser, he was dead, 4v5. So that, okay, they're turning it into an A split because there can't be an AWP on ticket or anything, so they're coming up con. Then I cut like I showed all that on the 2D, right? All of that action. So that people could see, and I talked through, and I'm like, okay, so you see here, Kvem gets 2, and then JT is over towards ramp, but JT is the short player. So they kill JT, but at this point, was anybody communicating A player still alive, right? Because
that's not the A player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, where's Grim? Would he be partnered up with JT? Would he be somewhere else? And then we hear it in the comms, and they come up, and someone is coming. It's like, that's not A player not dead. And then someone goes to Swisher, he goes, could he still be ramp? And Swish goes, no. And then Swish dies from ramp, right? So the comms were still good, right? But we got to see in the comm piece what happened there. And then I picked another one from M80. It was on a low buy. So it was around that they didn't really have a chance of winning. I feel like I could have set this one up better. I was trying too many things at once. I was just back on the desk. I was just seeing what I could get away with here.
I was dying in the green room because you were the analyst and the host of that whole segment.
I just prepped stuff.
I know,
so
you
I
actually just prepped like your own solo like 5-minute segment, and you got on the desk, and it was just funny because you'd be talking and you did this whole thing where you just broke down the round in 2D, and then you went into the comms and you came back and you explained it, and it was like, and then Alex just goes, "Oh, yep."
Well, I didn't want to do that. That wasn't the point. Don't make me feel like
it was just so funny. No, I mean you did it fine. It's not critical. I just found it hilarious
because I was trying to get stuff played that we would all learn, because like some of the stuff I wanted to see what, like, okay, they're on this low buy, they've got 2 kills. Are they just like all fizzling out and doing individual stuff, or are they talking? And they were talking. They're like, okay, swing mid together. Okay, let's fight banana guy. And they just lost the jewels. Like they made bad choices in those moments. So it shows the viewer. It's like, it's not that they necessarily did like they did the wrong thing because they lost, but it was the wrong thing with purpose.
Yeah.
So they weren't just throwing, right? They just made a wrong choice.
Right.
And we all make wrong. Like anybody who's ever played Counter-Strike in any form of like, you know, Premiere or Face It or whatever, knows like your decision is based off of imperfect information.
Yeah.
And that's the same with the pros, right? So
Yeah, I mean, they did 9 things right and the 10th was wrong.
Yeah.
And that caused them to lose the game.
exactly. And that's
Lose the match.
and that's Counter-Strike, baby.
Yep.
That's the emotional roller coaster and game of all this shit.
Yeah.
Who else should we talk about who came through? 3D
Liquid
through.
would be an easy one to grab onto.
That was 0-2,
0-2.
yeah. And that game against
Taylor,
Astralis.
that was an ugly 0-2 as well.
Well, Astralis was also 0-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both
You
teams
cast
had
that
their-
game, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
How was that?
I mean, little bit of, I mean, it was fun and it's nice. It's always good to get those matchups that have a history and a rivalry to them because like they automatically just feel more intense.
Yeah.
The game itself, the first map was like, it's one of those games where Liquid stomped them, obviously, but it was kind of like a cool stomp because that was the first time I feel like we saw the Liquid team that they've been telling us about. You know what I mean? Like they've been pumping that whole thing of like we had a great boot camp, everyone's coming together, everyone's on the same page, and you're watching the first 2 days and you're like, the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, this is gross. So that was the first time I saw.
Good for Flashy too.
Yeah, really good for Flashy. Second map was fun, but yeah, in terms of like delivering on the Astralis Liquid like history rivalry, not there. Like Astralis just didn't show up. Outside of Stare, there was no one.
Well,
they have like a real firepower issue when you get past Stare, and I don't know if it's the players don't have it or the players don't really feel comfortable putting that firepower into play. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it feels like there should be more talent on that team than what I see in the server.
Sure.
It feels like they're kind of going through motions and none of the players actually know how to create their moments the way they used to in our older versions.
Well, this is why the post-game interviews and the interviews we've been hearing from the camp are kind of important, right? Because the conversation from the team is like temporary, right? It's like because they don't know what's happening with Stown, or maybe they do, but they're not able to tell us. And then the other angle is you hear when you are having conversations with people who are a bit more in the know and around these teams, it's like, oh, it's a dead team, right? Yeah. So that kind of takes the temporary to the next stage. So then what does that mean? Because if you're thinking future of Astralis, obviously the stuff came out about the late payments, but they cited it was because of the ownership change, which if that's true and then they get paid, it's like, was this even news?
Well, I think we were talking about that in the green room yesterday because it seems like the craziest thing in the world for an org to like make that kind of an announcement like hours before your team is going to play in the elimination game. Like that seems like a silly distraction.
I don't think they made the announcement though. Didn't they just respond? I didn't. Like, I could be wrong.
I have no. I was told that it was Astralis who made the post, and I don't know if that's true. But anyway, in my head,
I could be very wrong. Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, let's just say hypothetically it was Astralis. I think the only reason they make that is if someone else was going to release it, right? If like it was leaked or some like news organization got it and they just said let's get out in front of it. That's the only reason I can think of.
But here's the thing:
I don't think it's that nefarious either in any way.
No,
like
I could very well like I know people want to believe Astralis is like this scummy thing, but it's new ownership now, and we're hoping this is the turn of the leaf, and maybe that's why they came out and said something just to be transparent. But if there is a change of ownership, right, and there's like you now have a whole different payment structure, or you have a whole different this, a whole different that, then of course there's probably going to be some delays.
Also, Graham made the funny. I think it was Graham. A couple people on Twitter made the funny joke of like the payment was missed on December 1st and the article was released on December 1st. Like in esports terms, like
that's pretty good.
I know. Like we're still just fine in terms of payment.
We got some invoices.
You have another week before it's considered late.
Back in the olden days, invoices, you're waiting for fucking 6, 8, 9 months.
Yeah, there was some invoices that would be like a whole year long of just poking and prodding and be like, can I get this money now? Please, 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 please.
It's not like that these days.
No, it's not like that
these days. If you work at PGL event, Silvio has the money in your bank account the next day.
PGL gets mad at me if I don't send the invoice.
Yeah. You constantly get the emails.
He was like, can you send the fucking invoice already? We're trying to get this paid out. I'm like, all right, bro.
Janina kept sending the email. I'm like, sorry, Janina. Like, I'm swamped. And I'm just like,
this is really weird. I've never been on this side of the coin before.
Yeah, PGL are pretty quick. I don't have any issues with ESL, but you guys call me the golden boy, so maybe that's why. Maybe they've been told to pay me straight away. I don't know. But yeah, it's one of those things in the modern game with the Astralis where I guess they didn't need the extra noise, because they already had enough noise. But think about this: if the team is temporary, right, and we can't play, well, maybe you know some stuff. I don't know if you do. We can either play a speculation game where we go, what do we think is going to happen, or we can play the speculation game of what would we like to see happen.
Yeah, my sense around Astralis is like I don't really know. I don't know much. I don't have any like
talking counter.
I don't know much. In isolation, that is a funny statement. Yeah, I feel like whenever I've been listening or reading Hooksey's interviews for like the past 2 months, it feels like it is way more disorganized internally than we see from the outside. I feel like he's playing like that game where he's like trying to like say we're busting our ass to do as best we can while also being like, but it's kind of a shit show and we have no.
Yeah, I got that vibe.
You know what
it's
I
right.
mean?
We're doing what it takes to be good now, but we're not building for the future, right? Because
Right.
obviously you'd want to build a base and stuff.
All of his conversations have been about a revolving door of players in and out,
bug
Down
with
leaving,
holes in
someone
it.
else coming in, Device stepping out for an event, someone else stepping in for a while, Magis coming in now. So that revolving door is there. Obviously, the word from Stare was they didn't do any kind of a boot camp. They did the online boot camp where they were just kind of grinding for 12 hours, which is unusual for Astralis that has the Astralis Nexus in downtown Copenhagen.
Maybe that's part of the old ownership.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's just all up in the air and they just don't have the ability. Maybe it is just the fact that the finances are tightening up like it is everyone in esports, and the boot camp wasn't financially making sense to the organization. But yeah, it feels like in the interviews, Hooksey's like, you know, saying he's basically leading this team with like a hand tied behind his back, essentially. But I don't know what happens. There are a lot of questions. Is Magis going to stick around? Is Stown coming back?
Do you even want Stown to come back?
Yeah. What about Device? He's even put that tweet out that all the criticism is definitely warranted because he had a really bad time, especially in the elimination game against Liquid, just not effective. Questioning about his AWPing. Can he be an AWPer in modern Counter-Strike? Does he need to change as an AWPer? Does he even deserve a spot on a team? Yeah, this team at that org has a lot of decisions to make now.
Yeah, in the interview, Device, the one with HLTV, sounded like he still wants to keep competing, right? And he's just talking about, you know, doing everything he needs to get back to the required level, because it was very dejected in the interview. Understandable, just was eliminated. I think it's respectable that he gave the interview.
Yeah.
Didn't shy away from it, and just talking about how poor his form's been and stuff. But yeah, in general, watching the team play, like Chengdu is probably the highlight for their season.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
maybe the first event when Hooksey joined and they made like third, fourth place. Yeah,
wasn't that?
was.
Well, Astana they went good. Then it was like FPG 1. They were in the final and they lost to Tyloo.
Yep.
So
There's one other event I think they had a deep placing, like right when Hooksey joined. I feel like they had 2 back-to-back
I
events.
thought that was Astana, wasn't it?
Maybe. Might have been. Yeah, it was. Then they get to like the third, fourth place deciders.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
so.
something like that.
Because
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't, yeah. Either way, like, it felt like there was something there and it never came to fruition.
it's just a shame because like we now think about all the legendary orgs from the early days, and they're not an early day one. They're like the defining chapter before the pandemic. But you think about like all of them are up Struggle Street, right? NIP, Fnatic, Virtus Pro. Like, I'm missing more.
I don't put NIP in that category because I think their struggle street happened a while ago. I think this is more about.
Yeah, but so is Fnatic.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what I mean. All the orgs from the earlier, like obviously as we evolve and we reshape and everything, like.
I wonder why that is.
Well, normally what happens is you try and hold on to the success for too long.
Yeah.
But I think the pandemic is what fucked over Astralis.
Yeah, pandemic definitely
And
fucked over
some
Astralis.
poor management decisions around that point in time.
But they never seized on the opportunity to go for the younger Danes. Like when Heroic was on the rise, they probably had opportunities to poach some of those guys early on and never went for it.
Yeah,
And
but
then
when you have
Heroic
the
got too
greatest
good.
team of all time, there's a reason that you probably did that. But there was also that point where, like, I know the players and the org kind of had a bit of a falling out too. They weren't too happy with the org, right? So there's probably a lot of things that feed into this.
But I think the scary thing is if you're Astralis right now, it's like, in my mind, I'm like, if someone comes and poaches Stare from you, like, that team is kind of fucked.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking, like, I don't know what Astralis' ranking overall is. I'd have to have a look. I haven't been a VRS Andy as much as I should be. But let's say that the core of Astralis, right, that obviously if Rain wants the in-game lead, then you're probably not taking Hooksey. Do you take Yabi, Stare, and... Well, you don't need Magisk, I guess, either. But Device isn't performing well. Because, yeah.
Well, I mean, this is where I would actually think it'd be kind of cool if like a team like 100 Thieves did go the piecemeal style instead of buying a core.
So it
it's
just
like
takes Stare.
out of this major, you can poach. There's some cool pieces that are going to be available. Like you could grab a Stare,
Yeah.
in theory. Shush for NIP, who just had an incredible stage too, was like
There's some players on loan who are interesting, like Klim from who's an MIBR on loan from G2 Aries, but he's an AWPer that they set up a lot. Kaspersky's on loan,
he's
I'm
on
pretty sure
loan
still.
from ENCE to NIP.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, if you wanted to come
Kaspersky
here
could
and
be a
cut
cool
their
thing.
grass,
Yeah.
an aggressive piece. Obviously, AWPers are hard. That's the hard part is finding an AWPer.
Yeah.
Right? Because we've seen some swings and some misses. And it's hard because are you looking for a serviceable AWPer? Are you looking for an elite level AWPer? Right? Elite level AWPers, they are worth
They're way
millions of dollars.
Yeah.
There's not many of those going around at the moment.
Being an opper is a really hard job these days because, like, if you're not incredible, if you're not just blowing up the server, then you suck.
Yeah, and if you're not getting it done with the AWP, then you have to get it done with the rifle.
Yeah.
So you need to have a comprehensive game from top to bottom.
Honestly, that's what I'd like to see Device do in Astralis.
What, rifle?
Yeah, like I put that tweet out when Cadian joined because I thought Cadian was going to join as the op on GL, and I was like so pumped for Device back on AK. But that's in my mind. If Device wants to continue his career truly, I think he's got to go down the road of Fallen and put the AWP away and go back to an AK. He's just not aggressive. He's just not aggressive enough as the op. And I don't think you're ever going to be able to change the fundamental way you approach scenarios as an opper if, as Device, you have played the last 10 years in like hardcore system opping, like fundamental system opping.
Idea.
Yeah.
Meta breakers. Astralis. Bring in Nikodos alongside a Device and both just AWP when they're feeling it.
Okay. So op by vibe.
Don't build the system around the AWPs, but if they're feeling it,
Sure.
then we got AWPers.
Because Nikodas is good with the AK as well.
Now, I want to let everyone know it's a terrible idea, but
But it's an idea. But we're going to roll with it either way.
we're working with what we got around here, and
Well, I guess the next question becomes too, does Astralis ever go international? They're like one of the last holdouts of trying to do this like regional team.
surely at this juncture, the group of players that the Astralis legendary roster inspired have got to be turning about 14 or 15 right about now.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, maybe they're even a little bit older. Let's say 17,
14
18.
to 20, let's say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now is your time. Run a recruitment drive. Get Device on the posters. Get the hat on, pointing at the camera. We want you. Do some trials.
Open casting call. Come down to the Nexus facility. Everyone, you're going to get 20 minutes to show us what you got.
And then build a proper academy team, not one of these other fucking projects you've done that end up being ecstatic or fucking Sashi or whoever they are, and go from there. Because there are a lot of Danish players, but the problem is there's not a lot of class Danish players. There's quality Danish players like who are good for this level, and they play good. Everyone kind of come through a similar Counter-Strike school of thought, but yeah, the next, like, oh my god, this guy's the next superstar. We haven't seen that in a while, right?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I don't know. You're right. Do they go international? Do they stay with the national? I hope they stay with the national. I don't want everyone to lose their identity.
I mean, it's like 80% of teams have already lost that national identity, right?
Yeah, NIP international, Fnatic
don't really
international,
have it
both
all that much anymore. It's like really Astralis and like Brazilian teams and Asian teams. And that's
3D
it.
Max.
3D Max.
3D Max still has it.
Oh, they're French. They're stubborn people, you know?
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Stubborn enough to make it though, Jason. Wasn't
Stubborn enough to not get eliminated.
And they play some. I love the way 3D Max play.
I actually think they're a fun team.
It's so much fun.
They're another one of those teams that I feel like it's hard to like latch onto and root for.
Why?
But I like.
Is it because they're French?
No.
Well, you like Apex and Zywood, don't you?
I do.
They're French.
No, they're like another one of those teams that I don't know. I haven't been able to like. I think it's just because of the up and down nature of their year, of where it's gone from like this is cool Counter-Strike to now this is like stale Counter-Strike to okay, this is kind of cool Counter-Strike again, but you're not playing well, to like, oh, you're on this busy stretch where you're underperforming at every event. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why, but
Maybe that convert you
I
in
do
the
like
next
them. I
stage.
just haven't like for instance, I like 3D Max a lot, but I wanted NIP to win that series.
Wow.
Because I like Snappy.
Wow. I like Snappy too.
I respect the shit out of Snappy's grind, and I'm just like, get Snappy back.
Okay. All right.
Snappy was the idea of one of my favorite teams of all time. That ends
was a
lineup.
fun team.
I fucking love that team.
was a fun
So that was like 1 year where we got to have like a team that brought that old school Virtus Plow vibe into Counter-Strike
That's what 3D
again.
Max are.
Yeah, not yet, but
What
maybe.
they're playing like that?
We'll
Maybe
see.
not as good as the ends. Yeah, you're right.
Just not as entertaining with it, you know?
Oh, they are though, Jason.
Yeah, they are.
They're just not.
I'm not trying to bash
They
them.
don't
I
have
like
the
them.
same. I guess they don't have the same peak. Okay, so
I don't think they've developed the personalities behind the game to make it like truly exciting.
because they're French.
Okay,
You don't speak their
came
language.
full circle.
What
now.
about gravity?
S'il vous plaît,
click
motherfucker.
the mouse, flamesy. You know.
That was good. Yeah, that was good. Maybe some of that back.
Yeah, well,
Not
then
face to
you
face.
can't
Yeah,
see
yeah,
him,
I
so
know.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
It is crazy though. Am I doing this correct? 4 out of 8 teams from stage 2 were stage 1 teams who progressed to stage 3. That's a lot of stages, but either way, it was FaZe, Parivision, Imperial, and Bait.
I like the way you say Parivision.
Yeah, I'm thinking of parrying there.
Yeah.
And then the stage 2 teams who made it through were Navi, Passion, Liquid, and 3D Max.
Should we do the NPL thing? Do you want to get into that at all?
I was there doing the segment as it happened.
Yeah. Did you do a callback to it?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you want to say about it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Am I just getting old? Because I am like that. That's gross.
You didn't like it?
I don't mind it. I like the players like taking a shot. I think that was maybe like a not appropriate way to take the shot. Like a straight up worst analyst fuck pimp is like not exactly the way that I would like him to go about it.
Yeah, the 20-year-old Ukrainian kid, Jason.
I know. But I think, I mean, yeah, I don't like the way it was like up on the fucking front page of the CSGO subreddit all night. Like, I feel like I see threads that become those kind of personal attacks get deleted more often. I didn't like waking up and still seeing it there. I was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, but it was live on broadcast. It wasn't like it was just someone made a thread.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I just like I don't mind at all like players like pushing back and taking shots like that. I thought that was over the top, but like it's not the biggest deal in the world. I just hate like I this is where I just like part of my disgust of it is like trying to put myself in Pimp's shoes, right? Like when I go to that Reddit thread and it's ever like, man, speaking facts, truth, Pimp does fucking suck. I'm trying to see like what would my day be like if I woke up as Pimp and went, like, oh, it'd be a fucking terrible
Yeah,
day.
but Jacob's under fire all the time. I'm not saying it makes it any better.
I know,
but it's not like
yeah,
it's
he's
not
always
new
in a
for
battle.
Jacob to be under fire.
Maybe that's part of it too. Maybe I'm just after the Cologne thing is I'm just like, oh, Jacob, like this guy's take a fucking
Well,
break.
what they did that in Cologne was
egregiously fucking disgusting.
Why is anyone doing that, man? Well, actually, there was a couple of things that happened at Cologne that were bad.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of them. That was one of them. Right? Yeah. Like, look, from a player perspective, I imagine that here, like, well, also,
here's
how
a
much
question.
are you watching really of the desks?
Well, that's my next
How much are
question.
you watching?
Is like,
now that I think about it,
what did Jacob say that would have caused that reaction?
I don't know.
Exactly.
But you know,
did he just say, I don't think Bait is going to make it to stage 3, and that's what, like...
Yeah, but Jacob is always very quite, like, cut and dry, isn't he? Right? Like, he's very, like, black and white and direct with it.
Yeah, but I don't think he ever says anything egregious that's, like, that turns personal, right?
Okay, but all right, but hold up. I'm trying to. I just to try and think through like the logic here of all this. I'm not giving an opinion. Yeah. I'm just asking a question here. Just I'm thinking about it too. A job as a pundit or an analyst is to look at the games and the players and discuss potential outcomes and what goes wrong and what goes right and have an opinion, right? Yeah. You know, and be entertaining, right? Yeah. And all of that, right? So we have opinions about them, right? Are they not allowed to have opinions about us?
No, they're again, have all the opinions about us as you want. Take shots at us if you want. Like, go for it. Like, you have the players have complete freedom, and I think it's like fair play if one of them wants to get a little bit testy and punch back. Like Apex and I have gone at it a couple times. And
I did the whole Sembler thing back when I was playing on Renegade.
Yeah,
remember I was
exactly.
in the interview with Sue.
Yeah.
Or was it Sue?
Yeah. And Get Right did the thing with Duncan. But I think, like, you know, we try not to, and some analysts are better than others. Like, we try not to ever make it personal, right? Like, I never go out onto a desk segment and say, this is the worst fucking anchor in professional Counter-Strike. Fuck.
Duncan said my 1v1 loss to Frigazord was the worst 1v1 ever played.
Duncan's a special case.
Well, we've spoken about it since, right? And also, like, you know, it's one of those things where I understand it from once you're on this side of the fence, when you're talking about these things.
And you try and butter up the phrasing,
Exactly,
you try and give it a little extra sauce on it.
So, right, like, it doesn't, it's not fun when, like, somebody makes that statement and then it becomes a community sentiment. Yeah. And also when, like, you know, you're already playing poorly and you know you're doing badly, right? It kind of just, like, the walls feel like they come closing in and it sucks. Like, my situation probably a bit different to most players' situations, but that's never fun, and you never like being made a target. I just think this is the thing: if pundits say things and you don't like it as a player and you engage, then now it's open season.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's not saying that they can't engage.
Right.
I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying if you do choose to engage, there's certain people that you're going to engage with that is going to open
the floodgates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then instead of it having the reaction that you're hoping for of them letting up on you, or maybe that's not the reaction you're hoping for, maybe you don't even care what the reaction is, it's probably going to go the other way, right? And then when you do fail, because most teams lose, only one team can win, right? Then you're going to hear them sounding harsher or doubling down and stuff. And I don't remember what a lot of my desk segments were like, so I can't really sit back there and reflect on them. But I think I'm probably more like in line with you, where, you know, I can point out, oh, this guy made a mistake, he missed this smoke, or he should have got this shot, right? Yeah. But it's the delivery of that is that an okay delivery, or does that feel a little bit dismissive of the situation, right?
Yeah.
And MPL's opinion is MPL's opinion.
Yeah.
Right. Whether or not it should have done what he did, I guess that's another one of these things that is up for interpretation.
It also goes back to that conversation we had a million times, where it's like the players are always going to have like a certain level of gospel to what they say among the community, right? So like as soon as you say that, it's like, okay, out of the woodwork we come. All the Reddit accounts that agree and think NPL is just spitting facts and truths.
But then again, like I feel like I am just doing this because I want to make sure both sides of the fence, and you're on one side. It feels like
I understand the player perspective as well too. It's just I would have been fine with it if it had been like something a little bit more. I don't know what I'm looking for out of this. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for either. It was just like the fuck pimp like worst analyst was just like, what did he do to you?
It did feel like it came from nowhere. It did feel like it came from nowhere. I was like, did he like what happened? I'm not sure what happened here.
I don't know. But I also wanted to be like my brother in Christ. Like, you just qualified from stage 2.
They didn't look very excited when they qualified.
It's not the slam dunk when you qualify. Like, if you're qualified from stage 2 in the playoffs, that's a time to do something.
They did own 3D Max on this too. But this is why I was so surprised they didn't celebrate. Like, Hedrick went, yeah, and then everyone else like smiled and got up. But I thought they would have been leaping out of their chairs. So that tells me they have higher aspirations for themselves.
Yeah, which is cool. I like Bait. I think Bait's a really cool team.
Like, quick. So, say how much you like MPL.
I love MPL. He's a great dude. Fucking eloquent.
Always to the point.
He knows how to work a crowd. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, but I think Bait, when I talk about them, I say they have like a good fundamental understanding, right?
Yeah.
And then their pieces maturing together.
Yeah.
Like Kenzazor, I think in that game against 3D Max and Dust 2, he just went absolutely fucking nuclear. It was awesome to watch. Yeah. MPL and Ancient against 3D Max also had a couple of nice late moments. Essential and Alex impact when they need it. And Hedrick, he's up and down. But I think, again, Orpers. I think Orpers, bro. Everybody always wanted to be an Orper. And these days, I'd be like, nah. I think I'm just rifle.
Yeah. I don't want all that.
You know what? I will jump spot the Mirage. You know?
Actually, I kind of love it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I drop a defensive smoke. They come out. We get a couple kills.
It's very meditative, just jumping back and forth like this.
Yeah. So, Bait are through, which is good. They progressed as extra stage.
Yeah.
In Austin, they went stage 1 to stage 2. Here, they've gone stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. So, good stuff to them. Imperial's run is a big conversation in the community right now. Do you want to hear all the teams they beat?
Yeah. It's going to be gross, isn't it? There's one of these every event.
Yeah, but I'm the first guy to say you can't choose.
You only can beat who's in front of you.
Exactly. So, and they had some good moments, I think, too. So, no one's saying it's the hardest run in the world.
Right.
No one's saying that.
We're not chucking flowers at their feet.
Okay, they opened their campaign of stage 1 against Rare Atom. They won 13-11.
Sure.
So that's one of their 6 wins.
Nice.
Okay,
Rare Atom.
They lost to FlyQuest.
Yep.
Aged.
Stage 1 FlyQuest, and they were a beast.
Yeah. Lost to Fnatic. So they're 13-6 FlyQuest, 13-3 Fnatic.
All right.
Okay.
Not ideal.
No. Beat the Huns, beat NRG.
Okay, so 2 Asian teams in a stand-in, like the tier 2, 3 Asian teams in a stand-in team.
Yeah.
Okay.
But someone had to make it.
Right. Someone had to do it.
Then.
Oh my God.
They play MIBR. Because they're one of the lowest seeded teams, and MIBR are one of the lowest seeded teams. So because we do 1v9, 2v10,
Yeah.
13-5.
Okay.
I think you may have been casting that game.
I might have been casting that game.
First day.
Yeah.
That would have been.
Yep.
Then they lose to Na'Vi, but they put in a pretty good shift. It's on Mirage. They lose 13-10. That's good, considering how dominant Na'Vi were.
Na'Vi looked great.
Right? Then they beat Fnatic, who they had lost to in the previous stage.
Okay, good for them. Improvement.
Yep. And then they beat M80 to qualify 2-1.
So Rare Atom, Huns, NRG, MIBR,
Fnatic,
M80. M80. Yeah, not the hardest.
Now,
some decent wins, some okay wins in there.
Of those teams they played against, only one team is in stage 3.
Okay. Well, look, they won the lottery. One team always gets an easy route into like stage 2, right? Like someone's got to do it.
And now they get an opening game against the Mongols with controllers.
Yeah.
So
Mongols is going to beat them though. I don't know.
I see.
We have the pickups video next. We'll save it. We'll save it.
So Imperial have had what a lot of people would be saying is an easy run. I'd be saying that too, but I also will acknowledge you can't choose your opponents, and a part of this is because of the upsets and the way the seeding works.
And also, I think too, like there's the strength of the obviously opponents isn't great, but when you read that out, stage 1 they were 1 and 2,
Yep.
and then stage 2 they were. Did they lose 2 on stage 2?
Had,
okay.
They
had backs against the wall.
They had
had some
3 they had
pressure.
to win in stage
Okay.
in stage 2.
I'm bummed at the way M80 didn't qualify through. Like that Imperial game is the one
exposed a bit.
Yeah.
They could have won that Imperial game for sure.
That's the one that you point out. You're like, end of the day, you're going up against Passion and Elimination. That can be 50-50. But that Imperial one is probably one they look at and say, fuck, we should have taken that.
Fella, they should have had the edge there.
Yeah.
So they'll be kicking themselves over Mirage, which is the map that they lost that they should have won.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough lesson for M80. Then going up against Passion. So we already spoke about Passion a little bit earlier, didn't we?
Grim's looking good.
But it's important for him to look good.
Yeah.
He's one of the bigger. JT looked great on that third map.
Yeah.
He was owning. I think he had like 22 kills on
Called
Train.
a really good series as well against M80.
But very direct, right? And that could just be the game style they wanted to use against M80. That was what was winning them a lot of rounds on their T side on Mirage. It's what was winning them a lot of rounds on Train on their T side, just, going straight into B, like throwing util for a BXQ, but 3 guys walking out high ramp as the util's being thrown to catch players off guard and stuff. Because, a lot of people play like anti-flash positions or those type of angles. So, good stuff for Passion. Liquid we touched on a little bit. Keith looks more himself.
Yeah, he does.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that he's found his form again. Lil Tim's now Big Tim. That's ultimate. Got Tim in the name.
I was wondering, he was sick.
Yeah.
He is a fun player when he's having good games.
Yeah, we just haven't seen it in a while.
I know. We just need it more often.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that that glimpse of Liquid against Astralis is the one that like snaps him into shape for stage 3. I'm curious to see if they can fight off some of these bigger squads too.
Oh, we didn't talk about Aurora.
I have to talk about Aurora.
Well, we don't have to. But...
No, we have to.
Okay. What would you like to say? Well,
yeah, it's.
I'm not allowed to say anything.
Yeah.
I'll put on a watch list.
I don't really have anything all that groundbreaking. It's just like it's just a bummer. Like,
yeah.
Like like especially for a team that's been good for a lot of stretches of the year and that has been on that grind and has been like a top 5 team for the majority of the year, to bomb out like this is just sad. But they never got over those issues. They never figured out the mentality issues.
It's a mental pressure issue.
They still just are just a very brittle team. Well, I don't even know if I'd call it a brittle team. I almost feel like. I mean, I'll just call him out individually. I think Xantar's is just a brittle player, and then when you have your star player have that kind of mentality and that mental collapse, it's like you can't have that. Like Xantar's is the one that takes him from like a top 15 team to a top 5 team.
Sure.
And if that player is going to go missing, well, there were some games this event where you have like 14 kills on the CT side and like 1 on the T side, and it's just like you cannot have that level of a drop off.
Sure.
And I don't know if it's pressure. I don't know if it's the way they're playing. I don't know what it is. It's Xantar's would know more than anyone. Major would know more than anyone. But it just can't happen.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have success if that's the case. I've played in those teams before. It sucks. And you just can't win games at online like that.
Those be the facts, right? So I don't want to say anything because I've already been embroiled in enough Turkish drama this year.
Well, I'll still make sure to timestamp this section. It'll just be a short one.
Yeah. Great. Well, we need to get something out of this, don't we?
Yeah, we need the interactions.
On the TikTok or whatever.
All the TikToks.
FaZe, obviously an immense turnaround from stage 1 to stage 2. Still Twist and Frozen delivering.
Yeah.
It makes me happy to see Twist doing well. He gets he's been painted with this difficult to work with brush. I just think by the community, you're not seeing it.
A little bit, but I was thinking in my head. I'll just say this. When I was Twist was awesome to work with when I was at Liquid as a coach. He was only there for a few months. Outside of him putting me in a tough spot, he was awesome to work with. No, but I mean, at the end of my first 4 months, right before Twist left, before we let Twist go, the team was in a rough place, and so everyone had their own sort of frustration, but Twist was one guy who was just kept his head down, was I'm not going to cause any real issues, we know this is going on, but I'm just going to be here grinding and playing and competing, and he kept it up through every fucking game that we played up until he left. So in that sense, it was very short term, but he was great to work with, I thought.
Yeah, obviously him departing FaZe because of the uncertainty of what was going to be happening kind of came back to bite him with the Liquid move, right?
I don't know. I don't think you can look at it that way.
Well, but the reason, like, I think if I'm looking at
he might look at it that way.
but that's what I think, right? Because they did that whole like kumbaya camp, and like everything was so good, everyone was speaking so highly, which is good. You want to put out positive messaging, and things probably did feel good in the beginning, but I would say within the first month or 2 months of that, it was already dead. Like it was over very early, and then at that point you're picking up the pieces of the mess. Like you had this view of what things could have been, and then it's kind of like imploded, and then he's made this move, and then we always know grass is always greener, right? Like, looking back on what you had, and I know he has the utmost respect for Carrigan, right? Like Carrigan's his guy. Like he looks up to Carrigan hugely.
Yeah.
So then all the stuff that kind of went wrong in Liquid and everything, him taking over in-game leading and not working out, your Kinder not performing, now your Kinder's on Fury is performing, right? So all these things that kind of happened along this path, people are like, oh, like Twister's the problem. But Twister's an elite level rifler who has, like you're saying, a very good attitude. And I think that he will eventually become, when Carrigan if they stay like this, when Carrigan does want to depart to go coaching, Twister will become the in-game leader of this FaZe team.
But yeah, that's very possible. But I think that's part of the conversation where it's like, I think like a couple things. I think one, like when you say like the Liquid move came back to bite him, it's like in one sense, yeah, but I can't look at it that way because him coming back into Liquid and then Cadian not working out as the IGL and Twist stepping into that role gave him 8 months of experience or whatever, however long it was, of being an IGL, which is a role he'd never done before. So he has this whole period in Liquid where he's trying to become the leader. He's making the game plan. He's trying to get everyone on the same page. He's trying to impart his vision to everyone, and he's getting that experience, and he's learning how to be the leadership figure in a team and the guy that everyone looks to. And then he goes over to FaZe, and the first thing and the thing that I see Kerrigan praising the most for is, I've never had a second IGL like Twist. I've never had someone in like a second player inside the server who's willing to take control of a situation. And maybe Twist isn't doing that if he doesn't have the experience in Liquid as an IGL. So yeah, in one sense, maybe it wasn't as successful, and maybe it feels like it was a wasted year in a team that was like just fucking dying and always changing and trying to figure things out. But it gave him valuable experience that he's brought back to FaZe and now has made him a different player and a more effective player in different aspects of the game.
That's a fun angle.
In that sense, it's paid off. I think the other thing too, in terms of the community thinking him difficult to work with, I think a lot of that stems from he had that stretch of being like very vocal and very opinionated on social media and Twitter. And
Stuff.
And then I think when there was a couple, like in community was all behind him at the start, and then I think he had a few opinions that the community didn't agree with, or a couple of things that brought them in controversy, and then all of a sudden it changes, and the community's like, well, look at this fucking egotist. Like, who's this guy thinking he just needs to put his opinions out whenever it is? So I think his reputation maybe got dinged up in terms of that, but he's been radio silent on social media lately as well. He's just been like, fuck it, I don't need to do it.
Yeah, and been fragging up a storm. Like him and Frozen played great. Some of the signs of life that I saw from FaZe reminded me of, like, obviously the overtime games, right? That is FaZe just doing FaZe things. That's how they're going to get through, guys. The games are going to be close, right?
It's going to be fun.
This is what we all signed up for, actually.
This is actually what we want from FaZe. Yes. We don't want them to come out and look amazing. We want the games to be close and scrappy, and we want these guys to be in the fucking situations, Brokey to be in some fucking chaos.
Yeah, he's still not playing great. But, you know, I did see a nice 2v4 from him and Frozen on the lower side of Nuke against NIP that I really liked. So yeah, there's different angles and elements there. Na'Vi is the other one, wonderful and bit in great form.
I was so far off with Na'Vi. They came out looking fucking awesome. Their first game they played, I think I was casting it. I was
that
like,
was the FlyQuest game.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, this team looks incredible. Because we did the pickers video. I was like, I think FlyQuest might upset Na'Vi. Who knows what they're going to come in and look like? And then I was like, oh, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah. Wonderful farming this stage of competition, which is great. I hope that he's able to grab that confidence, because he's another one of these
offers.
Yeah, he's a very good AWPer.
Yep.
He's not, unfortunately, he doesn't go into the elite level AWPer conversation, but maybe this will be the time. And you can never rule out Blade, right? Like, this is the thing.
I know, I'm figuring that out, man. Jesus Christ, he's good.
They took clean sets, so win over FlyQuest, win over Imperial, and then a 2-0 over Bait. So they literally just took care of business. This is an organization.
They looked so casual doing it as well.
They've been in the top 16 of every major, which for the first few, there was only 16 teams. But they've been at every major.
Yeah.
So
it's the only organization, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And right, last time, Blade is very good at mitigating communities or setting community sentiment. Like in interviews, like, I want to say we're going to come into every tournament and win, but have to be realistic. That's, there's different quotes that take
Yeah,
that
I mean,
to.
what's good about it is that he's like, it's authentic. Like when you hear him say it, you're like, yeah, he actually just straight up does believe it. It's not just giving the line for the fucking interview for the PR. He actually like, yeah, the major will be where we decide everything.
Helps keep the
here we
pressure
go.
off your team, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
right?
does.
And that's huge for young men. Like Makazi, he's a rookie at this major, and
It helps that he has the credibility to do that as well.
Well, yeah, I think Blade like people could have the GOAT coach conversation and have it in the same way with the GOAT in-game leader conversation, right? They could say Zonic because of the majors, right? And obviously he has more majors because of the Vitality situation, so he has a little bit extra than what Glaive does in-game leadership wise. But then people could go Blade because he had the Na'Vi team. And then now he has this international team and doing it with and we can clearly see his system and approach.
Yeah.
We might not understand it, right? But we can see the logic behind the choices.
I mean, Blade clearly is like the best tactician strategist we have in terms of coaches and in being able to put his idea into the server. But Zonic has the hardware. So what do you prioritize? Do you like the eye test of like the strategy and the fundamentals
We're
looking
back
good?
in this loop.
Yeah. That's always like the fun of the GOAT conversations to me is like, it's not who you end up with. It is what is important to you. You know, like what is important in you judging who the best AWP or IGL is. It's not so much, I don't care if you pick, Simple and a wrong or Zywoo and a wrong and you don't pick Device, which is correct. I'm just saying like the logic of getting to that point is where that conversation is interesting.
You've lost the plot. All right. It's 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock.
Do you want to?
I'm gonna call the neighbors.
Let's stop recording this.
Yeah.
We'll have a break. You sort it out with the neighbors. I'll come back with the pick a video.
Peace.